Hey everyone, this is Will Dorsey Jr. of Talk Music Podcast with Will Dorsey Jr. My next guest, my friend, my brother, Dean Dichoso, great producer. And I want everyone to know about Dean. If you live up in the Nashville area, you guys gotta look this dude up. I'm telling you, you want some awesome quality out of your albums? Whoa, check him out. And multi-instrument, like this dude plays everything. I mean everything. Like everything's so good when you listen to this guy. Anyway, I like to call him Dean DiCelso. All right, Dean DiCelso.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on, man.
Is this thing on, dude?
Yes, keep on tapping that. Keep on tapping.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Dude? So good to see you, dude.
You
So good
too.
to so good to see you, man. Man, can you I want to let you talk about this, like how we even met. Like I think I know it's through Guitar Center or whatever, but
Most certainly is.
I want to see what your side of it, how it was.
I'll never forget it. And it's funny you mentioned this because when you called me to do this, my wife was sitting next to me, and of course, she knows who you are from DEA and all that, from End Amelia. But I was like, I looked at the first question, I go, this is gonna be fun, and I told her exactly what I'm gonna tell you. So I remember it well. Can you fix me on something? Did you work at Hollywood first, or did we just meet straight out at the Sherman Oaks store?
Straight out to Sherman Oaks store.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll never forget it because the moment I went in, I think this is 2005 or six.
Six. Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Okay. Yeah.
I had just bought the house in Studio City, the one knew very well, and I just remember I had a recording session coming up in the new studio I just built, and I saw you, and I just I remember walking in, and you were hard to miss. I just kept saying in my head, definitely when I'm done looking around this store, because it was my first time to go into that location, and I remember saying to myself, just go find that guy who looks like a predator when I'm ready to talk to him. And you had the long hair, and that's all I said to myself. You look like a cool dude,
All
and
right.
man, we hit it off because I remember this. The first thing I said to you was, "Hey, man, you know what? I really love playing. I really love recording single ply heads on snare drums, and I just feel like I'm gonna like blast through these." Because I'm used to playing on like double plies or whatever. I think that was the first thing we talked about, and then you hooked me up with that. You're like, yeah, it's cool. We'll just get you like three ambassadors. I think it was something like that. But it was less about the gear. It was just like, man, I don't know. What I found really charming about it, as I look back on it now, because it has been so long, it's crazy. But
Yeah. Yeah.
is the fact that you and I like we had this draw. You and I instantly wanted to talk to each other about our origins for some reason, and
Mhm.
I think we went right into it. I was like, so you're obviously a drummer and blah blah blah, and I just remember saying to myself, and we had a nice talk. It was great. I mean, God
Right.
knows what we talked about, but I don't know if we made the Jimmy's Chicken Shack references yet or anything like that, but I don't know if we did at that time yet, but
Yeah.
I just remember leaving there going, holy shit, like one day I want to be in a band with that guy. That's what I remember from meeting you. We had a nice talk. It
Oh,
was a really good conversation.
right.
What do you remember?
What I remember from it is, I think I remember, of course, I think that same time that you were talking to me, and then I saw you come in another time, but you were going in to see GC Pro, but I think
Yeah.
you had an artist with you, and I think it was the dude from the NXS show. Remember that contest show?
Oh my God. No, it was a Rockstar Supernova, right?
Oh, yes, that's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
It had Gilby Clark and Dave Navarro and Tommy Lee. Yeah, it was.
Um, I think it was. Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the singer was Lucas Rossi, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
we had
think,
a band together.
dude. So
Yeah.
what were you going in to see, like GC Pro, like how'd you get in with involved with him?
Yeah, well, so I went to the GC Pro because no, it's funny you mentioned that because I remember like the obvious choice is to go to GC Pro because rare equipment, they helped me out on the price more than the guys in the floor could. You know
Yep.
that.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I just remember like I would go to GC Pro and I would go, I just want an excuse to, man, fuck it. I don't care if I pay full price. I'll buy heads or whatever down there because I want to talk to William. You know, and I love talking to you all the time. So, you know, but yeah, no, Lucas. So it was interesting, man. I think the way I remember it, like his management spoke to my manager at the time. And I think what was going on, he had just gotten done doing the Rockstar Supernova tour, right? Like,
okay.
so I think they did a national tour. I don't know if they went into Europe or whatever, but you know, and the band ended up being Tommy Lee. I forget who else was in it. And they got done with the show, and I think he was ready. He was still like everyone else in that band was established. They were on that TV show judging, right?
Yeah.
And I think for him, it was a matter of like, well, that's awesome, but like, what about me? My musical identity, my path is still fresh. And I just remember getting a reach out from my manager saying, I have a meeting with you to go meet up with someone at this Starbucks. It was the Starbucks where like it was like the one in Encino that was in the open area with like the best was there, I think. Anyway,
yeah.
So I didn't really know who I was going to meet. And I just remember my manager going, just, you know, do your rock star thing. I go, what does that mean? And he goes, just, you know, wear your stuff. And I go, well, it's every day for me, man. So whatever. So I remember approaching this person, and it was extremely obvious to me who it was because we were somehow dressed exactly the same. We had like leather jackets we bought from Melrose from some Ukrainian girl that we were bartering with. We both had, you know, bleached hair that was all spiky, and I knew who I was supposed to meet. And I was freaked out because I had seen him won that show,
right?
And he won singing his original song called "The Heart Spin," and the chorus. I was like, "Oh, dude, this guy's awesome!" You know, it's a whole full package. So yeah, that's how we met, and then we ended up creating this band together called Stars Down, and we did that for a little bit. That was interesting. Yeah, so that's how we met. Yeah,
man. Okay,
I guess that's who came with me to see you, or whatever, you know, whatever. Yeah, GC Pro.
Right, because man, I think I was gone from that store, and I didn't see you anymore or whatever. And then another guy called me from that I guess from that store, another drummer, and he's like, "Dude, you gotta try to audition for this band." I'm like, "Okay, send me the music. I want to hear it." Or you had an ad out on a thing or whatever, and I didn't know who it was at all.
Oh,
And,
no way! I don't think we've talked about this.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I never talked to you about this at all.
This is awesome.
This is how I remembered it. When I heard Devil, what was that song called? Devil.
So you've discovered the Devil?
Devil, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one of a Dead in a Million song. And I heard it, I was like, oh my God, who's this band? You know, like I was like, I gotta get involved with it in this, and I called the dude back. I was like, okay, how do I get to like an audition? And this is back in, I think, 2009. Was it 2009? Yeah, it had to been around 2009.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
And went in, I talked to you, you know, I think over the phone to your house for the audition. And I didn't put two and two together at all. I knew your name was Dean. That was it. I don't think I even met you yet. Like in that audition, I think you were at your board, you know, just getting ready for me to, I guess, play through the song.
Okay.
It was that one and another one. I think it was like
probably Stranger.
It was
could have been.
It could have been.
Or Superheroes Die.
I think it was Superhero.
Yeah.
I don't know which one, but anyway.
Yeah.
I think. But when you came in the room, after I finished playing, after audition, I was not expecting to see you.
Oh shit. meaning the guy that had been chilling with you at the store.
Yes. I didn't put two and two together at all that I was auditioning for your band.
Holy shit. Yeah. Okay.
So to me, I thought that was pretty cool. You know, like I said, oh man, it's like it's Dean doing this, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, that's Dean. So
I probably don't regale the same exact moment, probably because if it was you that walked in, I probably just in my mind went, "There's my drummer. That's the end."
oh man.
Yeah, yeah,
Dude, that was an awesome experience. It was just so strange to me that that how things worked out like that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It was just kind of funny that happened. So
Right. And by the way, I want to say if people are, I mean, if they're wondering about what Dead End Amelia is, it's a band Will and I were in. You can, I'm not going to say the band's dead, but our singer goes solo when the band's on a hiatus, and the point
right.
being is people might want to look for it.
Yeah.
In true Krista fashion, she messed up some of her credit cards on the digital distribution, so it came off of Spotify recently. But there's a Bandcamp. We'll get a link to that, I guess, down there. But the Bandcamp still has them, and at the time there's a lot of transition going on, and I wasn't expecting a drummer like you, so I was playing on a lot of the recordings. But our second EP, which is God, what a great EP, the Point of No Return. You're playing over that, and I want people to hear that. There's a Bandcamp for it now that will come up on Spotify later. But Dead and Amelia, the Point of No Return EP, it's our heaviest one. It's the coolest thing, our proggiest one, and you can hear William in a light you haven't heard him before if you haven't heard that. So as a drummer, bang,
Death Materia,
oh man, that dude, yeah, man, we had fun on that.
That was like you telling me like it's like I want to go this way on that song, because you wanted to do Candaria type of thing on that. I thought that was just dope. And I was like, man, this dude is you were kind of like my brother. Like we were into the same kind of bands.
100%.
You know what I mean? So I didn't think I would find somebody like this, like
same, bro. It was the same. I mean? Yeah.
So
and, yeah. You'll always be like the most special drummer in my life for that reason. We connected on everything, dude. Like, the best. Yeah. How many times did we break into playing random Helmet songs in the middle of fucking rehearsal? You know what I mean?
A lot.
Like,
and Chris is like looking at us two go like, what song is that?
Yeah, and we're like somehow landing all the changes at the end of Meantime and shit. Yeah.
And we were having a blast. We were having a blast, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Will Dorsey Jr. Talk Music Podcast. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. That little red button on there, just hit it. That will help me out tremendously. If you can also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, that will also help me. And if you wanted to download our podcast on Apple or Google or Amazon or even Spotify, you can check us out on there. Hope you guys enjoy the show.
Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, 𝐸 Studio, the new way musicians rehearse, record, and share their 𝐸 sessions on social media. Visit ERS on 𝐸recordstudio.com. Download this amazing app on Google and Apple Apps stores.
Visit us on www.talkmusicpodcast.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Download our podcast on Apple, Google, Amazon, and Spotify.